All right, guys, we are here. Nvidia up to almost 7:30. Palantir finally dipping down after hitting highs on Friday. Tomorrow we have CPI day. I got these new headphones and they cancel out all the other sound. And so my wife got me these new headphones, but they're so loud. I got to lower them. They're cool though. They're a good idea, but they cancel out all the other sound, and so it's hard to hear everything else. All right, let's do a poll. What's up, Easy Mike? What's up, Alyssa Mars? What's up, team? How about those Chiefs, bro? Listen, I'm not saying I'm in tune with the universe, okay? I'm not saying I'm in tune with the universe. But the stream asked me who was gonna win the Super Bowl, and what did I say? I said the Chiefs. Also, I'm gonna have to go find those old clips and make videos about these old clips, because the last like 3 or 4 CPI reports in a row, I've guessed it exactly right. Jobless claims came out Friday or Thursday, and I guessed them exactly right, like 20 minutes ahead of the actual results too. I have it on stream. And I'm not saying I'm in tune with the universe, but hey, we said the Chiefs, and the Chiefs won. Favorite drink? Coffee. You know. Coffee. We come online at varied points of time. It depends on what we got going on. Today we don't really have much going on, so we're starting a little bit later than we normally do. But, yeah. Today is CPI Eve. You know, we got CPI data coming out tomorrow. So we're detailing that. Let me get some music playing here. All right. My wife got me these headphones. They're pretty cool. What's up, Ivy? It's CPI Eve. Honestly, this week is very busy. In terms of economic reports, right? Let's talk about it. Tomorrow we have CPI. Wednesday we got a bunch of Fed speakers. Thursday we got jobless claims, the Philly Fed Index, retail sales, and then Friday we've got PPI data. You know, so that's a pretty busy week. I don't think we actually have any big earnings. Let me check this week. I don't think we do actually. Now that I think about it, nothing. Let me see. Shopify, Datadog, Coca-Cola, Hasbro, Moody's tomorrow morning. But again, it's going to be CPI is going to overpower this. So, you know, and then tomorrow evening we've got like Airbnb, Upstart, Robinhood, Lyft, MGM, Zillow. Wednesday morning, nothing. Gold, Barrett Gold, CME Group, Sony, Kraft Heinz, Blackstone Mortgage, Sunoco, a couple other insignificant companies, and then Twilio, Cisco in the evening. So like they're kind of big, but they're definitely not big enough for me to cover. Upwork, Thursday, Crocs, John Deere, Penn Gaming, Shake Shack, Wendy's, DraftKings and Coinbase is Thursday evening. So we got some stuff to cover. Thursday evening we'll cover DraftKings earnings. You know what's weird about data today? Like what's weird about data is that they're skipping a day. CPI comes out tomorrow, and then Thursday PPI. Thursday PPI data comes out. Or no, is it Friday? Wait. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so they're completely skipping a few days here. Let me see it. Yeah, so what's weird is that they're skipping Wednesday. And I'm okay with it because it kind of separates inflation days, gives us more to cover, but still. Y'all can carry the music, or hear the music, right? What's up, Roderick? Bonk. It's bad, easy. Silver prediction? I don't really look at silver like that. I mean, if you're gonna, like, why not just buy gold? You know, personally. What's silver? Is it SVM? Is it slash SVM? What symbol? I always struggle to get silver. What's silver's future symbol? Alright, good. So y'all can hear the music. What's the future symbol for silver? Is it SV? No. Is it SLV? No. Is it? Yeah, but what about slash futures? S. SI is what it is. It's SI. It's slash SI. There it is. So here's slash SI futures. Palantired at the 23.90. Here's slash SI. We're at 23. So silver's ripping up today. What's gold doing? Gold is slash GC. Gold is down. So maybe, you know, maybe you can hedge against gold. I don't know precious metal investing like that. You know? Wait. I got a candle. I'll be right back, guys. Where'd my candle go? I got a candle. Man, dude, my door, here, I'll ask you guys about this in a second. Alright, so I don't know what's wrong with this door, man. I need some WD-40. Dude, my office door gets jammed. Both sides got jammed too. I tried to open both sides and they both struggled to open. I have to like stand on top of the door and press the button down to get it to like loosen up a little bit. I don't know if I should put WD-40 on it or what it is. Did John just get beat up by a door? Nah, the door gets stuck and I gotta like force it open. I just hope I didn't wake my whole family up with it. Yeah, if the door and I fought, it definitely won, you know. I fought the door and didn't win. I fought the door and the door won. Yeah, honestly, I tried one side didn't work. And if you ever see my kids come in here, I have to kind of tell them like, hey, you gotta like judo chop the door. Not judo chop. Judo is more of a throwing martial art. Kung fu chop the door. Yeah. All right. Hey, y'all hit that like button, team. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Tesla up again, up to 195s, bro. 195s. You love to see it. All right, so today we have CPI data coming out, guys. CPI data. Yeah, for sure, Ricky. That's it. I got a tobacco candle. They say tobacco is a nootropic. I don't know if I buy it, bro. Honestly, though, some of the best work I did was when I was on nicotine, though. But I never smoked cigarettes and worked like that. Like, I never smoked cigarettes and worked. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know how good of a nootropic it could be. They might just be saying stuff, dude. CPI data comes out tomorrow. H. Scott. All right, so expectations for CPI. Let's talk about that. So expectations for tomorrow's CPI report. And again, they're doing it weird, but that's okay. CPI expected at 0.2%, 0.2%. All right, so yeah, CPI inflation data comes out tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, guys. 8:30 Eastern. DraftKings has earnings. Yeah, DraftKings is interesting. I don't really like buying up anything ahead of earnings, especially something that's up as much as DraftKings is. Like, to put it into perspective, look at the DraftKings chart. Like, look at the long-term DKNG chart. I just don't trust it. It might rip up. It might fly up. I really don't know. What I'll say, though, is that if you look at a daily chart, this thing is up a lot over the last year straight, and I just don't trust it. It's just up too much for me. You know, like, look at how much it's up. Like, it's up a lot. Like, this is the DraftKings chart over the last 52 weeks. It has shot up a crazy amount. A crazy amount. So, for me, it's like, The question is whether the market's going to break highs again. If you look at this here, the NASDAQ broke highs Friday of last week. If we put a daily chart up, you can kind of see the NASDAQ broke highs on Friday. 18,000 plus. NASDAQ broke 18K. If we look at the SPY itself, SPY at 501.20s. SPY broke highs of 501.60s on Friday as well. Or was that this morning? No, that was... Maybe the NASDAQ didn't break highs. Maybe the SPY just broke highs. Let me see again. Hold on, wait, sorry. Alright, so this is the week. Okay, maybe the futures market just starts the new week like this. Okay, so that's what it is. Yeah, they all broke highs last week. The QQQ broke highs last week, or Friday specifically on the 9th. So just a crazy market. Crazy market. High breaks all around. I bought the dip 2 weeks ago. If a video moves to 740s today, I don't know if it's going to or not. Yeah, baseball starts sometime soon. You know, we got March. Late March is baseball's opening day. Spring training is going on right now. They said they started that a little bit early, but yeah, DraftKings is up. Tesla looking good. Bitcoin to 50K today, maybe it does. It's up there. You know, it's just under 50K. Coinbase has earnings on Thursday. That might influence everything in a positive way. We'll see though. But Coinbase has earnings Thursday. I'm gonna do a poll. Does the market break highs this week? Does the market break highs again this week? Let me know. How about the Chiefs, though? They did that, dude. I was kind of rooting for Brock, but, like, the Chiefs did that. You know. Some suspect calls, of course. But, like, that's just kind of how it goes. All right, guys. Yeah. From what I'm seeing this morning, the best place to watch. Why Nick? Pawn. So one ad I did see. So I saw a couple different ads. I saw ads for a lot of places. One of them, what was the ad that I saw that I was like, hey, I know that company. Snapchat. They had a Snapchat ad during the Super Bowl. Yeah, of course. I'm looking at the drama that came from the Super Bowl. Elf Beauty. Yeah, I did see Elf. Even my daughter knew what Elf was. What my daughter said, though, is that they were really trendy right now. And I don't like trendy companies. I'm skeptical of trendy companies. But at the same time, trendy companies can roll. Elf has gone up, just to put it in perspective. It was under 70. At one point, right at the beginning of the year, it opened the year at about $70. It's at $170 now. So almost 200% gains there. Yeah. I don't know anything about them, Pop. Yeah, I don't know anything about them as a company. Never heard of them. Don't know what they do. Really expensive price and a good chart. I just don't know what they are. Are they construction equipment? I didn't see that, Kelsey. Or Bonk. I didn't see that. What's tomorrow? Coca-Cola earnings? Yeah, they're in the morning tomorrow, I believe. People giving never mind. Look at this video, dude. This video is funny. Oh, man. Kids, bro. Kids. I can't say I would have done anything different as a kid, though, dude. But, like... Look at this. I don't know if this kid knew he was on video. Look at this. Kids, man. Ooh, is there really a new Quiet Place movie coming out? You love to see it. Here's Elon's problem, okay? Here's Elon's problem. It's a problem that I specifically run into a lot, okay? And my son. All right, Elon's biggest problem in life, okay? His biggest problem in life is that he's wearing a hat that's way too big for his big old head, okay? Like, I run into the same problem myself, personally. Is like, the hats I wear are too small for my head, bro. Like, I bought my son, I bought my 8-year-old son a hat one day from the Disney store. You know, he wasn't with me. I bought a normal child size head hat from the Disney store. I come back, Bro, that looked like one of those troll hats that you put on, like that just kind of sit on the top of the head. It just didn't fit at all. It didn't fit at all. I realized very quickly that my son at 8 years old had a huge head, He's got a big brain. He's smart. What can I say? You know, I know there's not actually a correlation there, but still, Elon, his hats are a little bit too small for his head, in my opinion. But that's okay. Listen, you know, rock your hats, Elon. I'm not judging much. Super Micro Semiconductors, Nvidia, Meta go up, Amazon go down, with Bezos selling $2 billion. Day trading the ish out of DraftKings. Hey, good luck, brother. Many think the market is starting to broaden out. Mid and small caps may start to rally soon. I don't think there's much of a... It depends on what you call small caps. If you're talking about penny stocks, probably not. Most penny stocks are crap. But some of them might do well. You know, I don't know. I was rooting for Brock too. I had a feel like, again, I'm really gonna have to go back and clip some of these videos from the last couple weeks, or the last 4 months. Again, for the last 4 months, for the past 4 months, I have made a prediction about CPI, and that prediction, I believe, for the last 4 months has turned out to be correct, right? Which is very difficult to do. Just to put it in perspective, it's not easy to pick CPI. Like again, I did it with jobless claims on Friday or Thursday. We said 218 and it dropped at 218. We said the Chiefs were gonna win, even though I thought Brock Purdy should win. I want a rookie to win, bro. I want a new QB who gets paid 10 times less than Mahomes to beat Mahomes. I was rooting for Burrow as well, Joey B. I wanted Burrow to win. Couldn't happen, unfortunately. You know, I think the reality of it is, I think people know, I think big money gets behind these things. I think it really does. I think big money gets behind things. I think the media knows who they want to win, you know, and I think that's who usually wins. You know, the biggest market cap team typically wins, which is weird, but hey, it is what it is. Found it and sent to you. Hey, I'll have to watch it. I can't watch it now, but I'll check it out. I was a Nick kid growing up, dude. Like, I was all about Nickelodeon growing up, dude. I wasn't really a Disney kid. I was more of like a Nick kid, I would say. Way more than Disney. I watched some Disney for my time, but I was mostly like Rugrats was like one of my favorite shows. I remember Rugrats. You had Keenan and Kel, you know, loved it. They had an old, like, I don't even know if this show's still around. My Brother and Me. It must have only had one season, but I used to love that show. It came out in 1994. It only had one season, 13 episodes. I remember My Brother and Me, man. I'm looking at why it got canceled. I have to go back and read why. Anyways, Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was alright. It was always like, it was kind of weird, bro. Like, I recognized the weirdness in Ren and Stimpy as like a young kid. Bills fans think they're gonna win the Super Bowl every year. Yeah, they're just idolizing. What's the quarterback? Oh man, what's the quarterback, dude? I know his name. Josh Allen. Yeah, they're idolizing Josh Allen. I get it. He's good. He's good. You know, there's a lot of variance that comes with NFL. There really is. There's tons of variance. They've done studies on them. Like, the variance is crazy high. So sometimes the best player doesn't always win. CPI 3.1% tomorrow. Yeah, so it's expected year over year. It's expected at 2.9%. 2.9%. Last time it came in at 3.4%. So it's expected to slow a lot. Expected to slow a lot. We also have a lot of Fed speakers this week as well. We'll see how it goes. Looking at our poll numbers, we asked people, does the market break highs again this week? 71% say yes. CPI is expected with inflation going down. I don't know. I think it could be. I think I'm gonna retire on giving out my predictions for CPI. Listen, I've gotten like 4 in a row correct for CPI. I've gotten like 4 in a row. All right. So again, with that crazy good green streak, I think I might retire, you know, and not even make any predictions. What do you guys think? Should I keep making predictions? I don't know. All billionaires selling their stock. Do they know something? Potentially. All right, look at Palantir. Palantir back up to 24s at the top. Palantir back up to 24s. No real big earnings today, though. We don't really have any big earnings. I'm in Meta. Where's Meta at? I know Meta's been doing well. I don't know what it's at relative to the other tech stocks. Let me put up yearly charts all around. There's Meta. Here's Amazon. Here's Nvidia. And here's Apple. We'll watch those three. I know Tesla's been a little bit more down relative to some of these other ones on the year. Let me get rid of some of these levels. All right, so here's basically what's going on. Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, all very strong, very strong. Apple is kind of sideways. So Apple is more of like consolidating look to it. Apple's more so just kind of sideways chop. Meta has been breaking highs. It hasn't broken highs over the last few days. The last time it broke highs was on the 2nd, a couple days ago, or maybe 10 days ago, a week and a half ago. Amazon is right at the heat of breaking highs. So Amazon broke highs essentially with Nvidia Friday. So Amazon got up to 175 lifetime high. Apple hasn't broken lifetime highs since December. And Nvidia, of course, is ripping over highs at 720s right now. Starting to dip down to the 200 EMA volume weighted average price though. So we'll see if that actually holds. If Nvidia pulls back 20%, we will have a snowball effect short term. Yeah, I think the market's biggest vulnerability right now is Nvidia being up as much as it is. I don't think Nvidia can hold these gains for an extended period of time. They could. I mean, I at the same time, I thought the same thing regarding them yesterday. Or I thought the same thing regarding them over the last year. I mean, in 2023, and they kind of held their moves. Many insiders have buys and sells. Yeah, we'll see. What's up, Beach? Yeah, 10 shares even is going to do really good with those type of gains. We'll see if it holds, though. Again, I think Nvidia is just up a lot. I don't know. Nvidia has been running up since the new year, like literally since the new year started. If we look at Nvidia here, so like look at a daily chart, and then isolate just 2023 from this daily chart. It's literally the day 2023 started. It's literally the day 2023 started. You know, here. And then look at that. Look at the huge moves this thing's made since then. Like, just crazy gains for Nvidia since that period of time. And again, who knows if it'll continue. I'm not sure what this thing's going to do. Just crazy gains on the upside. Crazy gains. Yeah, I see people arguing about capitalism on social media. And again, like I said, I'm standing here to agree. Like, listen, there's certainly corruption everywhere, right? But again, that's an inevitable thing when you have the sheer amount of people that we have in the world, right? Whenever you have billions and billions of people, guess what? You're going to get corruption. That's normal. That's an inevitable. It's an inevitability. As Thanos said. You know, like, you're going to have corruption. That's normal. And again, we quote Thanos for everything, not just the capitalism argument. But one of the beautiful things that capitalism does is it drives innovation. And the people who eventually get power have to work and innovate for it, right? That's the truth. That's the reality of it. There's a reason a lot of people from all across the world want to come to this country, because we have a very high standard of living objectively, regardless of what anybody says. And they understand they have the best chance of true success here. And I think that's a beautiful thing, regardless of politics, regardless of anything else. Again, I think communism makes sense when you have small amounts of people, right? Like, if you've got a small amount of people, like hundreds, maybe even thousands, like a small amount of thousands, communism could work. Like, living in a commune in that regard could certainly work with a small amount of people. When you have vast amount of people, again, what happens, in my opinion, psychologically, is that people feel less a part of something because it's so diluted with people. There's so many different people. They feel less a part of something. And so eventually what happens when people feel less a part of something, corruption starts. And there's corruption. And the people that eventually get power don't earn it. A lot of the time, they're just kind of blindly given it. And so, I don't know. I think it's been tried, and I don't know. I think... Again, I always tell people I'm very neutral politically, but I'm a capitalist. And I think anybody that trades stocks and claims not to be is a huge hypocrite. Huge hypocrite. Stock market is one of the most capitalistic things in the world. Top 3 for sure. But yeah. Why is the market so thin? Describe thin, Reclaim. I think one of the things we're probably seeing this morning is that everybody's hungover right now, brother. Everybody's hungover. Hey, thanks, Smart Film. Yeah, I think everybody's hungover right now. Well, corruption's everywhere, though. I mean, again, you could look at the easiest way to put it, it's bad, and it's all good, dude. I hope we can, agree to disagree. I'm not really super political, and again, I agree that I think we should tax billionaires way more. Like I'm for that. Now you got to be careful not to discourage innovation through that taxation, but I agree in that regard, right? Like I'm not disagreeing there. I'm certainly agreeing in that we could fix some things up here and make things a little bit more fair. 100%, right? And I hate paying taxes. Trust me. I pay tens of thousands of dollars in just taxes every year. I hate it. I genuinely dislike it, of course. But I think what you're referring to is like, listen, athletes are going to be super wealthy. Why? Because it's what people want to see. People, something that a lot of people watch and do, is they're going to get paid more. That's just part of it. Regardless of how people feel about it, they are providing a service, and the service that they're providing is entertainment, which Americans and humans in general value very, very high. You might not specifically value those things, but and again, I don't value those things in a lot of ways. My favorite sports are baseball. I watch football. I like football. Right, I really do. I like college football a little bit more than the pros, but we still watch the pros a little bit, especially if like Joe Burrow or somebody's playing. Either way, regardless of whether you like it or not, like they're providing a service, and that service is entertainment, and it is what it is. The Q, pull it back a little bit. What do you define as innovation? Yeah, 100%. I'm not disagreeing that they don't innovate. What I'm saying, though, is that the people who ultimately get power here are the people who get power ultimately like earn it here versus are blindly giving it and are forced to innovate. There's innovation all around. Some of it is forced. Others are not. I'm not saying all of it is. But I think I don't know. And maybe this conversation is a little bit too political or nuanced. Again, people hear me say this. I'm okay, like, just to go to the other side real quick, just to show you that I kind of am balanced in how I look at things. I think college should be free here in the U.S. I think college should be free. I think we should have free college. If my tax dollars are getting spent on something, I'm okay with that being college. I think college should be free in that regard. I think most of the world has free college, and I think the education system here has started charging way too much for it. And so I'm not super only capitalism type of person, but yeah. Airbnb, I like Airbnb. I think the fees on Airbnb are going to be vulnerable, or are going to be a vulnerability for it over time. I think a lot of the time you get a specific price, and maybe just more transparency with the fees on Airbnb might help them. I think a lot of the time you find a place and it says a base amount of rent. It's like, $500, $500 a week, or let's do a more realistic one. $250 a day for this Airbnb, and so people are checking out and they're saying, okay, great, $250 a day, cool. And then when they hit checkout, it doubles. The price doubles for all the other fees and nonsense. And so I think that is going to be a driver of people going off platform to do those things. And I think that is a vulnerability for Airbnb over a long period of time. Now, Airbnb is still huge, still probably making great money. And if we look at Airbnb chart, again, I'm not arguing that they're weak right now. I'm talking about long-term investing in a company like this. And again, for me, I'm skeptical in long-term investing because I don't know if I think this is kind of like Uber if you fast forward a few years, so like, I think it could have already hit its climax, and I think trends wise, it could start pulling back. But again, I'm not really 100% sure, of course. Like I said, I'm speculating here. I don't like it. Okay. When I invest in anything long term, I want it to be as close to a sure thing as it can be. I don't classify Airbnb as that. I don't think it's a sure thing. I think that Airbnb could be vulnerable to competition, to people just not wanting to use it anymore moving into the future because it's too expensive. The service they provide is too expensive, in my opinion. I think we've seen this big move of Airbnbs over the last 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years, and I think people might start trending back to hotels because of the lower cost, because of the more transparency in terms of fees and pricing, and so because of that, I don't necessarily like Airbnb like that, although it is a high risk, high reward stock. I just don't trust it. Datadog software company. I don't know enough about it to really say. It's got a great looking long-term chart though, but again, I just don't know enough about it to say yes or no. It looks good. We'll watch it for sure. The long-term chart looks okay. The yearly chart looks decent. So Shopify. Yeah, Shopify is doing big things with stuff. Again, I'm skeptical on them as well, but I think Shopify. The problem I have with Shopify is this. Okay? The problem I have with Shopify is this, and the vulnerability I have with Shopify is the same thing, right? I'm skeptical of Shopify because I think that Shopify essentially is a payment price processor. Like, it allows people to create landing pages and websites based around transactions. I think Amazon is growing into that niche a little bit. I think most people that use Shopify are specifically drop shippers, and I think drop shipping was really trendy and really hot over the last 5 to 10 years, but now it's starting to die down a little bit, maybe an oversaturation in competition, and I think that trend could continue and be bad for Shopify is what I think. Again, maybe I'm wrong here. I certainly am not 100% sure with this. I'm just skeptical of it long term because of that. You know, I try to find stuff I invest in long term or that I'm willing to buy needs to be something that I can buy it, and if I'm wrong, I can sit on it and most likely make money. And I think Shopify is one of those companies that, you know, since 2022, this thing is up to 300%, and so I just don't know if I trust it to hold this price personally. Maybe I'm wrong. Coca-Cola I like, because I think Coca-Cola is going to be fine long term no matter what. Legacy company, been around a long time, earns great money. You know, the last year it's a little weak, which is kind of like a preference of mine. I'm in Coca-Cola right now. My average price is like 52s. It's at almost 60. So I'm in Coca-Cola right now. I'm holding it for dividend payments, but yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, Spotify is different. Spotify is like Spotify. I'm more optimistic in than Shopify. Curtis CrowdStrike had a Super Bowl. CrowdStrike is that virus protection company, right? I'm trying to think of what CrowdStrike does. Cybersecurity, yeah. So it's a cybersecurity company. Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about it, but I think these can be big, but it's hard to gauge actual strength. I think, again, here's another one of those stocks that over the last year is up ridiculous percentages. This thing is up like 200+% in a couple years. That's a lot. And maybe it's in a big growth phase, up a little bit too much for me to want to buy it up here. And I hope you guys understand, like, I'm not trying to crap on y'all stocks. I'm really not. Like, I'm just, when I buy up stuff, it needs to be Goldilocks. Like, it needs to be just right if I'm going to buy something. And so I'm very careful with what I buy and hold. It needs to be healthy companies that even if I'm wrong short term, I can hold long term. And, you know, a lot of these companies are just not that, personally. Yeah, I mean, day trading futures is cool. It just depends. Like, I wouldn't day trading anything in general, and I love day trading, and I day trade futures, and you know, I think futures are much less red tape, much easier to learn how to day trade versus stocks. But I think day trading anything is really risky, and most people fail, and so I wouldn't bet my future on that personally. And again, this is coming from somebody that day trades every day. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's as. I don't think who's going to succeed is predictable enough to bet future on it. You know, I just don't think it's that. I think it takes a very specific type of personality to succeed, and it's certainly not everybody. Yeah, no, Top Step's great. You know, if again, I think Top Step's going to be a lot cheaper than putting the money up yourself, Fred, for sure. You know, what I'm saying though is that I wouldn't put all your eggs in that basket, so to speak. Not Top Step specifically, but day trading anything. I wouldn't bet your entire future on it. I would start slow, start small. I wouldn't quit your job. I wouldn't take a loan out. I would get started and learn and have optimism, but not be too rigid in outcome. And, you know, I guess my point is, like, I don't know how many day traders I've seen through the years that want to be pro. They want to do everything. Some of them quit their jobs. Some of them take loans out. And I always try to discourage that because, again, it's not something in which everybody's going to be able to do. Most people, in fact, are not going to be able to do it successfully. Large majority of day traders will lose money. And that's something that every professional day trader recognizes and understands. You know, I think Top Step and places like that are incredibly useful for day traders because it limits their risk. Most day traders lose, like I said, and so if you put up 2, 3, 4, 5K yourself, again, you're probably going to lose that. Like, let's just be honest here, especially in stocks or whatever. It makes a lot more sense to try Top Step out, which is a funded account program. They limit your risk. They've got tons of resources. And so they give you a demo, they test your skill. If you can pass the test, great. If you don't pass the test, which is, again, going to be most people, doesn't matter whether they're on Top Step or whether they put the money up themselves. Most day traders are going to lose. Their risk is limited. You only lose what you pay for the combine, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Of course, though, I'm biased because they're a sponsor of mine, right? So, but again, I think regardless of whether they're a sponsor or not, what I just said is true. And I think people just have to have realistic and reasonable expectations for day trading. I think the problem is that, like, there's a lot of marketing out there, and I think most day traders lose, and I think you got to look at that objectively and go into it with that expectation. Because if you go into it like, yeah, this is going to be my new job, let me take a loan out, or let me spend all my savings learning this, I think in the end, a lot of people are going to come away unhappy. And so I'm just trying to help people like that. But again, if you want to check out Top Step's a great way to test it. Instead of putting up thousands yourself, try Top Step out. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. I can't guarantee anything. You got to reach out to them if you want to confirm something and check their site. But I think it's a great software, a great platform for traders to learn, you know, for sure. I'd say day trading is better than long for me, as I mainly play earnings call based on study of the data, but you might be right. Most day traders are down. Yeah, I mean, I think here's the easiest way to put it. I think if you have like $50,000 liquid, I would take that 50K and I would put it towards investing in maybe dividend paying stocks, investing in the market, dollar cost averaging over like 6 months to a year into a portfolio. And again, my portfolio, you got to figure out what your portfolio is. Mine would be S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, gold, silver, real estate, bonds. You know, maybe I would probably select a few tech stocks and you know, isolate a couple tech stocks out of the NASDAQ or the S&P, and then I just sit on that for years. People underestimate the power of compounding over time and the benefit of the stock market. And so then maybe if you make some profit from that or whatever you want to do, then you could day trade with some of those profits. If you do day trade, I think a funded account program makes way more sense than putting up thousands yourself. I just don't think putting up thousands of dollars yourself trying to day trade is the right move in the beginning. I think most day traders lose, and I think a lot of day traders have unrealistic expectations towards what it actually is, and they think that they're going to be in some life-changing career, and most of the time what ends up happening is they just end up losing that money, saying the market's rigged, and then, leaving pretty disheartened. I think I see that a lot, and so my job is to help people, and I think telling them the truth is the way you do it. Yeah, it's all good. Some people are going to be good, I'm focused on risk management first. Hey, good luck, dude. Hope you make some money, brother. Really do. I hope you're an outlier, because again, I don't, you just got to understand, my job as somebody that mostly caters to new traders is to tell them the truth, right? Which is that most day traders are going to lose. As long as you understand that, you go into it with that understanding, do your thing. Why YOLO crappy penny stocks when you can YOLO even crappier sub penny stock altcoins? Some traders will win. I don't think it has anything to do with the newbies, AI or AL. I mean, you could say you're trading against the new traders, and maybe you are. I think some people are taking profit where new traders are getting in at the highs and stuff like that. But yeah, James says I make money consistently through the NASDAQ. I trade through TS. Yeah. You just realize, like, a lot of emotions float around in the market. They really do. Like, a lot of emotions. Like, I don't know how many people, like, I could tell people this as transparently as possible and say, hey, most day traders are going to lose. If you do try it, try a funded account program like Top Step, I could tell day traders that all day. But a lot of times, especially gamblers, are not the most introspective people, right? So, like, if you're gambling your account on some risky trades and then you lose, it's really hard to be introspective and be like, yo, I took a bunch of dumb trades. It's my fault completely. It's nobody else's fault. I took a bunch of dumb trades and lost. It's much easier for a lot of immature people to say, hey, it's John at Beginner Trading's fault, or hey, it's whomever's fault. But I don't think that's healthy. I don't think it's good. It's most of the time it's just blaming somebody else, which is never going to help them succeed at anything. I think you have to be brutally honest in business and trading, and this is certainly one of those things. What was your favorite Super Bowl ad team? What was it? Let me know. Yeah, let's not use the R word. Ow, please. Thank you, sir. Do you like dividend growth stocks with smaller yield or high dividend payers? I like dividend growth stocks with smaller yields personally. I think they have a better chance of winning on both sides as opposed to one in which you're making more divvies but the stock's going down. I think it just depends. ARM. Yeah, ARM is up a lot. We're in ARM right now. Very small position now, but we're in ARM. It's had crazy runs from earnings. Palantir's still up there. We're in Palantir now as well. I don't get how so many people are still so bullish after the biggest rally in years. The SPY is up 14% in 3 months. FOMO or rational analysis? I don't think you have to necessarily bet on the downside, Marion. I think that it's possible that the market continues. because you have to understand that like we had a negative year the year before last, right? So we had a red year. Last year was green to make up for it, and now we're up a little bit more. I tend to be on the side of thinking we need a correction here. So I still tend to think that we need to correct at least some. I don't think it has to happen, but I think you know we could correct some for sure. I think we could correct some. I think Tesla at 194s. Let's see if it continues back up. But yeah, I don't think, again, I just don't think it has to happen. Um, I think that the market can do crazy things. The market can have really good streaks. And I think it's not something in which what goes up must come down. It's very similar to inflation in that way, is that what goes up doesn't necessarily have to come back down. And very rarely will inflation come back down. Now, I think the market is more likely to drop, but it doesn't have to. And I don't think betting on that like it's a certainty is smart. I made a fortune on ARM. Yeah, I agree. I think it has to do with what the AI microchip sector does. I think ARM is at the whim of the microchip sector, regardless of its big strength from earnings. I think if Nvidia, if AMD, if Intel, if Microsoft, all of these big time companies start to dip, ARM is going to dip with them. So it depends on, a bet on ARM is a bet on the microchip sector as a whole in AI. So I think that is something that is going to be dependent on what happens in that sector. Yeah, CPI tomorrow. CPI effects for tomorrow. It depends on what CPI shows up as. I hope it's good, but who knows, man. What do y'all think of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? Do y'all think it's a fake relationship or not? People are so mad the Chiefs won, dude. I told you guys the Chiefs would win. Again, I'm not saying I'm in tune with the universe, but I might be. You can use Market Watch, IO. Markets don't need to be rational. They do require balance. Over time, yes, but short term, who knows? Like, again, the balance is real, but it's not timed. And so, market can push up really heavily and not pull back for years. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think that we could certainly get some pullbacks. I think we're extended on the upside. Personally, myself, I think we're up a lot. So, yeah, I think we're up a lot. Kelce got anger issues. Yeah, I agree he does. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, I'll be right back. While I'm gone, will CPI come in higher or lower than expected at 2.9% year over year? Will CPI come in higher or lower than the expected at 2.9%? I'll be right back. I gotta All right, we're back. Let's see, we're back. I won't even comment on the Super Bowl. I have zero understanding. Ayo, please stop spamming, dude. Like, we've answered that question like 5 times, brother. Come on now. Where's AFC at? Is AFC doing anything yet? Let me get this banner off the screen. Yeah, let me get it. There we go. Amazon had a crazy strong day too. I think it ultimately helped make these big moves. Look at Amazon here on the right side. It's at 174.20s. All right, so what about earnings this week? I don't think we have anything big aside from Coinbase and DraftKings. And then Friday, we don't really have anything. What about next week, though? Monday. So Monday, we don't have anything. Tuesday, we got some stuff next week. We got Walmart, Home Depot in the morning. Nothing big in the evening. And again, I just disagree with how earnings season did it this week. Or last week, man. They had all the big earnings like early. Another thing to consider, guys, here. Sheesh, dude. So this is how. So next Wednesday. All right, so next Wednesday, we're going to have the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. And then at the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. And then NVIDIA earnings at 4 p.m. You know, so I guess it'll work out. We can kind of stream straight through, but we're going to be sitting there on freaking Wednesday for hours and hours from NVIDIA earnings straight, or from the FOMC minutes report straight to NVIDIA earnings. Again, we'll put this up. CPI inflation data comes out. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on if you're an athlete or not, you know, on whether you want to watch sports. Like, people who aren't athletes or haven't played the sports they're watching might not be interested in it because, again, they can't relate to them at all. Where the people that play the sports and have competed in those sports, maybe not obviously at the highest levels, of course, but anybody that's played baseball can and understands the subtle nuances of the game, like the shift, like, you know, like counts and, you know, stealing and you know, inning implications and all that stuff. They're going to be more entertained and they're going to be a little bit more impressed by what those players do. If you don't know the sport, if you don't know the game, you're going to be less impressed, of course. Like, if you don't know baseball, somebody throwing 105 might not impress you. If you know baseball, somebody throwing 105 is crazy. If you know baseball, somebody like Shohei Ohtani is like an impressive person because they can hit homers, they can pitch 104, 102, 103. They're in the elite on both sides, and that's and people who understand and recognize that and are more impressed by it. Again, if you don't play, if you're not athletic or whatever, here's a good example. I never watched jiu-jitsu until I started learning jiu-jitsu. Once I started learning jiu-jitsu and training jiu-jitsu, then I can watch Gordon Ryan. I can watch Flow Grappling. I can watch, you know, quintet or whatever it's called, and be much more entertained by that than I ever was prior to it. And so playing the sports is going to help you relate to it. If you've never played the sports, you're just not going to be interested most of the time. Oh, and there's certainly a bunch of people gambling on it. Absolutely. Do you think they run NVIDIA just to wait for earnings? Yeah, NVIDIA drops earnings next week. I believe it's next week. Yeah, so it's going to be next Wednesday for NVIDIA earnings. Next Wednesday. And again, we'll see what happens. We just don't have much going on in the market today. I mean, it's not easy, but try to have an appreciation for the things you've never appreciated before. 100%. 100%. But trying those things yourself and realizing how difficult it is one of the things that leads to that, you know, but you got to try it first. That's something that's one of the reasons, like, on average, again, I'm not saying this is a blanket statement. On average, there's always outliers, right? But on average, a lot of females don't watch sports like that. Why? Because they've never really competed at those sports, and so they don't recognize the skill and how hard it is to do those things. Some people have, and some people do. My daughter watches sports. She's a big softball player. She knows how hard baseball is and how hard softball is and how hard it is to hit a home run and how hard it is to hit a softball, let alone a baseball, when you have a good pitcher out there. And so it just takes competing in those things to recognize the skill. And it's not, you know... Hey, what's up, Beach? Thanks, man. Yeah, it's kind of flat. I think most people are hungover today, is my guess. Like, I think you got a lot of people hungover from the Super Bowl. I'm not a big drinker, so, I mean, you know, I'm up early. But I think that's not everybody. Market's probably a little quiet today. Jim Cramer says, maybe because it was done by Apple, I think it was the best halftime show I have ever seen. Usher was incredible. Listen, as somebody that grew up in the early 2000s, it was definitely and again, I asked my daughter. My daughter says the kids nowadays are like fascinated by the early 2000s, which is weird. I guess, like, I'm trying to think of when I grew up in the 90s, if I was fascinated by the 80s. I'm pretty sure I hated the 80s and the 90s. Only as I got older did I truly start to appreciate the nostalgia of the 80s, right? But I'm pretty sure when I was in the 90s as a teenager, I disliked the 80s, except for a couple songs. Like, I liked some of the songs, but I certainly didn't try to dress like the 80s. Something weird's going on nowadays with young people where they are like obsessed with the 90s and early 2000s. They dress like the 90s and early 2000s. They got the same hairdo, same styles. They all wear baggy pants, just like I did in 5th grade. You know, 5th grade, I wore Jinkos every Free Dress Friday. I looked freaking ridiculous in it. But now the kids love it. I don't get it, man. You know, I don't get it. I'm about to pull out my old Jinkos if I know where they are and be the coolest dad on the block. Dude, the 90s has great music. Great music. Bezos selling $2 billion worth of Amazon shares. Yeah, I heard about Bezos selling $2 billion. Amazon flying up right now. It's probably just because it's up big, and smart people take profit on the upside. So, you know. The 80s music was good. The 90s music was... It depends. Like, it depends. I wasn't a huge fan of grunge in the 90s. Too sad, too depressing. But there was some good music in the 90s as well, you know. had to crack up last night. Some people had 15,000 people watching someone's Xbox playing Madden. Yeah. Rapping was not my thing. Yeah, some 90s stuff is good. Yeah, I mean, rap, it all depends, man. You have to... All right. You see a lot of people from the 80s critical of rap in rap music, right? But, I mean, and they say, oh, it's evil, or whatever it is, right? But, you know, Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off of a bat is cool, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of hypocrisy, I think, there. And it all just has to do with people tend to like the music they grew up on. They seem to not like change and not like difference towards what they grew up on. And I get it completely. But I think people have to understand that young people are going to be into different things than you, and that's okay. All right. Okay, so one of the Vision Pro's things that is truly impressive is how it teaches you how to play a piano. That's actually cool. So the Vision Pro has this thing that allows you to play the piano, and it shows you what keys to type. That's pretty cool. C3 AI is up there. Palantir dipping under 24s. Yeah, I mean, angry though, like I said, man. Like, look back at the glam rockers of the 80s, brother. Or, you know, Black Sabbath and you know, what they talked about in their music. It's very similar. Like, it's just a different sound, you know? And so I think, again, I think a lot of people are biased towards the music they grew up on. And I think that's what it has to do with. I think every generation... parents in those generations are against the music their kids listen to, and that's normal for the most part. In generational like changes, it's normal. What do you think happens to Tesla? I don't know. I'm in Tesla right now. I hope it goes up. Tesla at 193 is actually down a little bit on the day. Still up a lot over the last few days. What does the music today stand for? Yeah, the same thing it's always stood for. Money. You know? Again, in the 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it all stood for the same thing, which was money. Your record labels are behind it. They're the ones pushing it. So, hey, Kramer actually got one right. Is the Kramer curse broken? Kramer picked the Chiefs, and the Chiefs won. Is the Kramer curse over? What do you guys think? Look at Amazon, though. Again, Amazon very strong. Even with Bezos selling. I'm surprised the Bezos news hasn't made Amazon drop more. Again, Amazon tapped 175s. 175s. We'll see if it holds. But there's 175. Is this the lifetime high? Let me see. No. So lifetime high is at 188.60s. So again, we'll see what happens with Amazon. I'm watching 175. We'll see how it acts at the opening bell. Yeah, the lyrics, I'm talking about the same thing. Tesla at a crucial point for its future they try to remove. Yeah, I think Tesla's an interesting one to watch. I'm in Tesla, though. I hope it goes up, of course. I think it's down a lot over the last couple months. We're kind of flat in the position. We're down a little bit. And we're just kind of sitting in it. I hope it goes up. We'll see. All right, guys, and again, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. TopStep funded account program and futures. They give you a demo, test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. If you can't pass the test, again, putting the money up yourself, you'd probably lose that anyway. If you try to put up thousands yourself, you'll probably lose that if you're new especially. And so it makes more sense to limit your risk. If you're good enough, TopStep base combine is only $49. The top one's only $150. They give you a demo, test your skill. If you could pass the test, they fund you. If not, again, you're probably going to lose more putting the money up yourself. Great test of skill, free funding coaches, tons of great resources. They give you a demo. If you could pass the test, they fund you with a 90% split. They let you keep your first $10,000 in profit as well. No PDT rule in futures. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks. Again, it's just a great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk, in my opinion. But they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor because they pay me money. If you want to check them out, here's the link. Also, remember, guys, we try to put this up a couple times every day, but I am terrible at the stuff. Have no idea what I'm talking about. All right, just remember that. Your team, just remember that. I'm terrible at this stuff. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Good luck. Thanks so much. Rivian, I think Rivian's interesting, but I certainly don't think it's a guaranteed stock. Like, I think Rivian's interesting, but I certainly don't think it's for certain going to move up. I think it's got some big backers in Amazon, but I don't like the long-term chart, and I certainly don't think it's a guaranteed success. And so because of that, I'm skeptical of it. I hope it succeeds, but no, I didn't get sued. Nobody can. I mean, listen, people could try, but I'm literally telling everybody I have no idea what I'm talking about every day. Since I trade some funded account programs, just one of the rules for these funded account programs is that I put this banner up. And so that's what you guys see me doing, is putting this banner up, following the rules, you know, is what we try to do. That's why we put it up. Again, if you copy somebody that tells you not to copy them, tells you they're not an expert, not a market professional, and they have no idea what they're talking about, you know, and if you lose, that's on you, you know. But again, this is kind of how my channel's always been. One of the old catchphrases of my channel was "Don't sue me." So we're just kind of piggybacking off of that. All right, guys, Nvidia up to almost 730. It's almost 730. What about Neo? I think Neo's the same thing. I feel the same way about Neo. I'm a little bit less confident in it, though, and it's an overseas company that I know less about. So I really don't know about it. Yeah, I really don't know. Baba bouncing all the way back up, so that's cool. Let's see if it continues back up. We're in Baba. We bought Baba shortly after the big dip on earnings. Could have added some more to it, but I think I'll just sit in it. Yeah, I think Neo was once big and once hot. I think the problem I see with Neo is like the company executives are sitting around Tesla events trying to copy off of Tesla. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. There's been a lot of videos of like the main leaders of the company at Tesla events taking pictures of stuff, and then you'll see it shortly afterwards in the vehicles they have. I just think that anybody direct, I think if people like the Tesla things, they're gonna buy a Tesla. And so I think to separate yourself in the EV industry, you need to be different. I think you need to have a specific niche. I don't think you could just copy off of Tesla. I think you're gonna have to be different and set yourself. I think Tesla has a niche. I think Rivian has a niche. Rivian is mostly like pickup trucks, right? But they have a niche that they target, and that people that want an electric pickup truck with speed and power, you know, can get a Rivian. I think they have to separate themselves from the rest of that sector if they want to succeed there. Anyways, Q up to 437s right now. 437s. What is CHPT? Charge point? Penny stock, low liquidity, terrible long-term chart. Just not interested in it personally myself. I'm not saying it's going to fail, but I just don't want it. I know previously you said you had Honeywell. Do you think they will grow long term? What competitive advantages do they have? So with Honeywell specifically, they're a blue chip company. They have good revenue. I don't have a ton of Honeywell anymore. It was mostly a swing trade that I took some profit on. The reason I bought Honeywell is because it had pulled back heavily and it looked like a good long-term chart. I also have experience with Honeywell in my personal life. Like we had a Honeywell hot water heater in my old house, right? One of the things that hot water heater broke and like flooded my house. Honeywell came out, fixed all the damages from the flood, and replaced the hot water heater for free, just based off of good service. And so I think any company that takes care of its customers like that, it makes me a little bit more optimistic regarding it. Again, if you look at Honeywell and you look at like their EPS, they're very consistently like growing on EPS. If you look at their revenue graph, their revenue has rebounded nicely since 2020. I just think they're a successful company that when they're down enough, I would buy them up. But again, it was more of a swing trade. Palantir PE at 267. That's crazy high. Is it really that high? Let's see. I don't know if it's that high or not. Let me see. All right, so Palantir. Let's take a look. So I'm in Palantir right now. Let's see. We got 8 cents profit, 7 cents profit, plus 5 cents profit, plus 5 cents profit. All right, so they got 25-cent yearly EPS profit. 25 cents. They're currently at 23 something. Yeah, they've got about 100 PE ratio. It's not nearly as high as you made it. What did you say it was? 267. Yeah, it's not that high. Maybe if you use like forward PE or something. But I have their PE ratio at about 96 if you average up, which is very high, of course. But it's kind of a growth company. I think companies like this tend to, when they first get profitable, they get a lot of hype and squeezes, and it's an AI stock, right? So it's certainly a conventionally high PE ratio, but I think they could potentially grow into it. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm in it right now. I hope they do well. We do have DraftKings earnings. Amazon broke over the 200 EMA. We do have some strength moving up here. Let's see. Palantir on the left. Here's Tesla. Here's Nvidia. Tesla's still down to 92s. Nvidia's still doing pretty well. Pulling back a little bit now, though. We'll see if it actually holds. Again, Jim Cramer. It's Wayne Newton. The Vegas suite. It was Carrot Top, dude. Carrot Top. I don't know if Carrot Top intentionally makes himself look crazy. What's with the eyeliner? Look, I'm not judging. Look at Wayne Newton, bro. Just if Botox was an ad. Anyways, Carrot Top, dude. I don't know if he is intentionally doing this, but like Carrot Top, the eyeliner makes him look kind of like strung out, for lack of a better word. Like, look at Carrot Top. I don't know if he does this on purpose. Or if he's just trying to stay young. Carrot Top definitely juicing to the gills right now, though. He looks like Tommy Lee in Motley Crue. What's with the eyeliner, though? He looks strung out. you know, probably juiced to the gills, I think. But hey, who am I to judge? Just got in DraftKings, holding through earnings. Hey, good luck, bro. Good luck. Palantir. PE at 270. I mean, maybe they're using forward PE. I'm not sure why, why it's so high. I have it at about 95, 96. Again, the way you calculate PE ratio, guys, is you add up the last 4 quarters EPS, and you divide that by the stock price is what you do. Yeah, he's looking rough. Yeah, it's the eyeliner. I think it's really important to just get older with grace. I'm not judging. People should be able to do whatever they want to do. But I think people who try too hard to hold on to their youth end up just looking crazy, objectively crazy as they get older. And I think youth is something you all gotta, value, but be willing to accept age as well. Get older with grace. He always used eyeliner. Let me look at pictures of him. I guess he did. I think he's going, listen, I think he's smarter than you realize, right? I think Carrot Top, it's a persona, man. He's playing a part. And he's playing the part of a crazy person. And that's all right. Listen, he's making more money than I am. If he's in the Super Bowl suite, hey, he's making more money than I am. That's definitely for sure. And so I think Carrot Top, he's got a persona. He plays the persona. I do as well on YouTube. My persona is kind of like a trading brat. And what's funny is that when people start taking it serious, though, they get mad and they call me narcissistic, or they call me delusional, or they call me whatever. Of course I am. I'm, like I said, I'm one of the top 3 greatest traders of all time ever in the world. But yeah, with that said, good for Carrot Top. I'm not a hater. Let him make his money. Yeah, listen, I'll throw some eyeliner on here. Maybe I should pivot to that model. Maybe I'll just start wearing eyeliner, looking crazy, strung out, taking thumbnails of it, putting it up on stream, seeing how many people join me. Might work, honestly. It might work. There was a period of time where I was going to get an AMC tattoo, and I kind of hoped it happened. I kind of hoped it would happen. All right? During peak AMC mania is what I'll call it. I made a bet with the ape community that if AMC hit $100 a share, I would get an AMC tattoo. And now this was pre-split. Right now it's at an after split price of 44 cents. And so, long way from that $100 pre-split price. But I digress. Back to what I was saying. So I made a deal with the ape community that if AMC hit $100 at the time, this was 2021, I would get an AMC tattoo. And I almost hoped it would happen. Right? The reason I hoped it would happen is because I recognize the virality of something like that. If I got an AMC tattoo and put it all over social media, how many times would that thing get shared? And I could always get a cover up later down the line if I wanted to. Sure enough, AMC never hit $100, and we could only guess on what would have happened at the time. Are we letting you say rip today? It depends on what the bears say. The bears are the ones that always get mad if I say rip. If you're shorting Tesla and Tesla moves up $2 or $3 a share, you might get emotional at the word rip. But, you know, again, my advice to you is just sit down. It's okay. I can say rip and you not be emotional about it. F&A. I like this one. Look at this. This is called JJ Watt. Somebody said JJ Watt's hair right now. Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good one. Anybody that watched the Super Bowl recognizes why this joke is funny. JJ Watts. I actually had to teach my daughter. They were like, "Who's that?" My daughter asked, "Hey, are there girls that?" My daughter said something like, "Hey, how do you get to be one of these announcer guys, like one of these talk show or one of these guest speakers for the Super Bowl?" My response was, "You got to know a lot about football, like a lot, like way more than me or anybody you know." Most of the time, these speakers are retired players, and then I reference JJ Watt, and my daughter was like, "I know who JJ Watt is," and she really didn't. She had heard JJ Watt before, but like, you know. Carrot Top used to be ripped. He's still ripped, honestly. If you look at that video of him in the Super Bowl, he's still pretty. I mean, he would. I'm not gonna say he would beat me up, but he's still pretty ripped. Top 3. Is that rip usage justified? I don't know. JP Morgan says ETH is likely outperforming Bitcoin this year. Do you guys agree with that? I'm in Delta right now. DAL is one of those positions that I'm in right now. I'm nicely green on it. My average price is 39s. It's at 40s. You love to see it. Amazon's still moving up some. Is it time for me to buy the dip? I'm kind of skeptical of buying the dip in a lot of these. I'm green in Ford as well. I didn't know I was green in Ford. Chewy. We're green in Chewy. Delta. We're green in Delta. Disney. We're green in Disney. Citigroup. We're very green. Or we were more green. Amex. We're really green in Amex. Average price on Amex is 144. We're at 212s. That's like 30+%. I'll take it. Apple, we're nicely green in Apple as well. We ended up buying a little bit more of the SPY. Tesla at 40s. Or Tesla at 190s. We'll see if it holds those levels. This is a big if. Tyson Foods, I want to say they dropped earnings. Yeah, dude, Carrot Top swole. Listen. I think Carrot Top should be able to do whatever he wants to do. Carrot Top's been juicing like crazy for years. Like, let's just be real here for a second. My guy got on TRT. He's on that testosterone replacement therapy. He's like Vitor Belfort in the 2010s. Man's juiced to the gills. The way you can always tell somebody's on juice, right? You want to know? You want to know why? The way you can always tell somebody's on juice. Look at their veins, right? If somebody's 40 and their veins are like half an inch thick, yeah, that's how you can tell. Small caps are strong today. Name some small caps going up. Yeah, Super Micro Semiconductors. I don't know what they're going to do. They're up a lot as well. Super Micro up to 760s, dude. Wow, man. I didn't even realize Super Micro was this high. Look at this. Look at Super Micro right now. Crazy. It's at 760s. Look at this chart. Dude, what happened? I'm kind of missing this run. Super Micro's up to 740s right now. It's so obscenely high. This thing in the last this thing in the last month has gone up 150%. in the last month. 150% basically in the last month for Supermicro Semiconductors. Craziness. What's the float size? Float size is 50 million. So it's a small float stock. I don't know if it's going to hold. What's the market cap? Market cap is 41 billion. So it's a smaller cap stock. It's a smaller cap stock. Just to put it into perspective, Apple has a market cap of almost 3 trillion. So 50 billion or less is pretty small market cap wise. But Supermicro almost up to $800 a share. Craziness. Yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, not if you're skinny. I mean, I know some skinny people have big veins, but I'm talking about like if you're swole and your veins are like half an inch thick. It's not about whether you have veins. I'm one of those really veiny people as well, right? It's about how big the veins are, you know. It should crash. Will Supermicro Semiconductors hold? I have no idea. It's up so much. Team, it's up so much. I don't know. Not always true. Yeah, it's not a... Listen, there's always outliers in MVK. Some people are just naturally going to be huge. I don't know. The problem I have with the whole bodybuilding niche of culture is that they're almost always on steroids. And like a very common thing that you're seeing nowadays is you're seeing people take steroids, grow some crazy physique, and then start selling courses like they naturally earn that themselves. Start selling mentorship programs on how to get swole, and they're in denial about how they actually got there. And yet they're still trying to sell people their diet. It's kind of like the Liver King situation. Like Liver King was juicing so much, he was on so many different steroids, and he was selling people supplements. Like supplements were making him look like that, and it was obviously juice. It was obviously steroids. And he eventually got caught and admitted to it. I think that type of thing goes on constantly in bodybuilding, and so it's just something where, look, I'm not against you if you use it. I'm really not, especially if it's like TRT or something like that. Like, listen, if I'm 45 and my testosterone's low, you know, who's to say I won't use it, right? But I just think you got to be honest. If you are juicing like that and that's why you look like you do, don't try to sell some mentorship program like you earn that naturally. It's just dishonest. Anyways, Supermicro Semiconductors crazy high. The Q battling that previous closing price. So the Q is slightly over the previous close, slightly red on the day. Yeah, it's very slow. Again, I think most people are kind of... I think most people are probably sleeping still. Yeah, I grew up in Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa type of world. I'm a big... Like, Barry Bonds is still one of the greatest hitters of all time. I don't care what he did. Honestly, personally, I'm for letting him do it. I'm not against that. Let him hit homers. I'm for the UFC allowing it too. Like, Vitor Belfort was one of the most fun people to watch in the early 2010s. Vitor Belfort, like, to put it into perspective, the UFC used to allow what was called testosterone use exemptions. So they would allow their fighters to use TRT to, you know, fight. And Vitor Belfort was just jacked on that stuff, bro. He was like 40 years old, doing spinning head kicks and all this crazy stuff, just dropping people. And so I'm for it. Let them do it. As long as they're transparent about it, let them do it. Yeah, Barry Bonds, I don't care what he did. You know, he was one of the greatest hitters of all time. People hate on him, try to take it away from him. Everybody was doing it back then. A lot of people are probably still doing it now. Amazon at 174s, 175s. Yeah, the easiest way, like you see it a lot of jiu-jitsu. Like in BJJ, there's no rules against it, right? They don't drug test at BJJ. And so what you see is the top athletes like Gordon Bryan just very obviously juiced to the juiced out of their minds. They are just, like Gordon Ryan pre jiu-jitsu success was not that big. He was not like a super big guy. Modern day Gordon Ryan. And again, I can't even knock him for it. If everybody else is doing it, I mean, listen, you got to compete, but still. All right, guys. So Super Micro Semiconductors up. The Q holding its gains. Like, we can take a look at like Tesla. Tesla pulling back a little bit. Nvidia skyrocketing up there with Super Micro Semiconductors. Nvidia up to 720s right now. 720s. We'll see if it holds. We got less than an hour before market opens. Look at this dude. This can't be real. This dude, this is either the fakest pitch I've ever seen, or this dude has one of the best curveballs. Look at the curve on that thing, man. Amazon's still up to right around 175. Not the lifetime highs, but it's getting there. Super Micro Semiconductors crazy up to 760s. Nvidia still trying to make moves. There's the Q. There's Palantir on the left. We're in Palantir still. We'll probably continue to hold it. Tesla went red on the day. Maybe CPI is going to help us. Again, CPI today or tomorrow is going to be a huge release. What did y'all think of the halftime show? All right, look at Palantir dip. Look at Q dipping down a little bit. There's Nvidia. We can look at Apple as well. Here's Apple. I don't know, guys. Like, I know a lot of people hated on the Vision Pro, but I think there's been a lot of like news and a lot of viral clips of the glasses, the goggles, the Apple Vision Pro goggles, doing really cool things. And so I don't know. Apple down at 188. I might buy some more. What am I holding? Okay, I'm holding a pretty small position. I think I might add a little bit more to Apple down here. Actually, no, I'm going to wait. I already got a really good average. My average price in Apple is currently 181s. It's at almost 189s. I could add to it and still have a pretty good average. I think the vulnerability for this, though, is that AI and microchip stocks are crazy, obscenely high. And if we do pull back heavy amounts, then I could be vulnerable to that type of drop. And so I think I'll wait on Apple. I really do think the market's up a lot. I think we have CPI today or tomorrow, and I think that is very market moving. Yeah, I was nervous for Usher because he was on rollerblades or roller skates, and I was nervous for him as somebody that can't really roller skate, but I can rollerblade really, really well. I was nervous for him because he's got to be sweating in those moments, but he did that, man. He did that. Props to Usher. My daughter didn't know who Usher was. My wife and I had to be like, look, you've never heard Let It Burn? You've never heard You Got It Bad? You never heard Yeah? You gotta culture yourself. ARM is moving. Yeah, I'm in ARM right now as well. Mara is gonna depend on what crypto does. So Mara is gonna depend on crypto. ARM is up there though. Hey. ARM is up a lot. My average price in ARM is 63.50s. 63.50s for ARM. So somehow we're doing okay. 63.50s. Again, we got CPI data coming out tomorrow. You know, we ordered Papa John's yesterday, and it wasn't that bad. Usually pizza gets me sick. Somehow this one didn't get me sick, so now I know. Shout out to Brock, though. Brock doing big things, man. What's crazy is that Brock Purdy was the final pick in the 2022 NFL draft. And he went on to win the Super Bowl the following year. Or the following year. Like he, yeah. Palantir. Yeah, I'm in Palantir. It is dipping some, but my average in Palantir is very good. My average price in Palantir right now is $19.96, and this is with a re-add. And so my original average price was 16 something. We ended up taking profit, adding back, and now my average price is 19s. It's at 24s roughly. So we're still doing pretty good there. Apple up as well. Amazon, we're watching it. We'll see if the Q bounces back. We might short the Q here. Should I? I think I should. Let me try shorting the Q on a day trade real quick. Let me see if it lets me. No, I got to get the bid in there. The time and force. Buy the ask. Buy the bid. Sell the ask. Sell the bid. There we go. All right, so. All right, so we're in 25 shares of the Q short. Let's add a little bit more. Not the best fills there. Let me get the ask price. So here's the problem with limit orders and after hours or pre-market is that they just don't get you filled a lot of the time. You can't market in or market out in extended hours, unfortunately. All right, so we got 100 shares short of the Q. We'll take 150 shares. Palantir bouncing up a little bit. So we're at 150 shares short in the Q early. I guess we could always trade futures if we wanted market fills. Yeah, the reason we're shorting the Q here, and we'll add a little bit more. 200 shares short of the Q. The reason we're adding to this is because we recently broke over, like this is the red to green level. And so it's a level at which like is a big milestone level where the stock goes from red to green, green to red on the day. And so if we flush underneath that, you know, a lot of the time it's going to hold that level, and we don't mind just kind of playing with it, see if we get some bearish action after the break of this level. And if not, I mean, we can cut it pretty easily. This is not a small position either. We're using a lot of buying power for it. But again, people always try to use like, oh, you're risking. And again, I'm not risking anything close to the equity I'm spending. I have the buying power. So we got 200 shares of the Q. It's at 437s. So we are spending about 90,000 in equity on this trade. But again, it's a small trade, and it's not like we're risking anything close to this. Q's not going to go to zero short term. If it does go to zero, we'll make money actually. But all right, so we're starting to get that breakdown here. We're up a little bit, 200 shares of the Q. We could add some more to it too. I mean, we got more buying power here. I'd like to see if it flushes heavier on the day. Watching Amazon really closely here, Supermicro and Nvidia pulling back some too. That might help me. Can you explain why you shorted lows here? What lows? That's not the lows. The lows are here. You know, I'm shorting because we broke under the previous closing price, and this is a big milestone level that can also act as resistance. And so I can short there and see if that level holds as resistance, and if it doesn't, I could just get out. No stress. But if it does, then we could have a little bit larger of a win. The lows are down here at 436.60. You know? It's a small trade that, like, I can throw little feelers out and see if it holds. Yeah, there we go. See if I can get filled. No, doesn't look like him. Have to get out on the ask price or the bid. Yeah. See if it lets me out. Alright, so we're out. Good. Got out a little bit more. So now we got half the position. We've taken profit on it as well. Small little feeler trade, though. Still pretty early. You have to understand milestone levels. This previous closing price, certainly a milestone level. It's a level at which once we break underneath it, the market could continue. I'm just going to chill on the rest now too. See if we continue to break down. If not, I can get out flat. Hey, is the market open? Market's open. I think so. It better be. Yeah, I mean, it's open. I'm trading right now. Duh. Okay, sorry. What is it? New Year's Day. So market is closed Monday, February 19th for Washington's birthday. What is that milestone level? What's the previous closing price? It's the mine says 437.05. It's the previous close. Regular schedule. Yeah, market's not closed. The U.S. market isn't, at least. Alright, sorry, we're back. What am I up on this trade? Okay, we're up like 20 bucks. Small little day trade for the open, not too bad. Alright, took half off. We're up about 20 bucks, we'll take it. We'll let the rest ride too. Alright, Palantir bouncing back up a little bit. Look at Apple start to dip. So Apple, very heavily weighted stock. There's Nvidia at 725.90s. Yeah, we'll see if the market ends up correcting back today. Palantir up, Amazon up. All right, so again, the Q testing those lows again. Let me see my energy bill. All right, Q still touching down. Apple bouncing a little bit here. Let's see which way it did. Apple bouncing up. Anything else that you guys want to see at the opening bell? All right, team. All right, Nvidia at 725s. Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna have that Monday Super Bowl hangover. Who? Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what he's saying. Yeah, let's keep it non-political, guys. When is that? Let me see. Okay, so Monday, January 15th was Martin Luther King Day, and so that was a month ago, not today, so. What's going parabolic? NASDAQ? Yeah, I mean, the NASDAQ's up big. Again, we are in 50 shares of the Q, just kind of shorting it to the downside. I don't know how long we should hold this. I also think about trading some options today, but I don't know what I want to do there. Let's go in parabolic. Yeah, the NASDAQ's flying up this morning. Flying up. The other stock market news we got going on today is CPI day is tomorrow. Yeah, the S&P closed over 5,000. And so, again, crazy market volatility. Yeah, see, we're still in this trade. I might add a little bit to this. We can use the cushion we have and just play around. Again, guys, you'll have to understand this is a very large account. And so we could play around with this, and if we're wrong, it's not the end of the world. A little $15 or $20 is not, you know. Remember though, guys, so again, S&P broke 5,000 on Friday. You could look at S&P futures here this morning with like the E mini, and see that the E mini is now over 5K as well. So now we're completely flat on this trade. We'll see if this previous closing price rejects it on the Q, but we're just kind of feeling around here, to be honest. We get a dip back down to these lows, we're going to be sitting okay. And sometimes this previous close can act as a resistance level is kind of the plan. Last 2 weeks. Yeah. So again, now we're flat. We're right at 437s. So we'll see if this 200 share short position will help us here. I'm not sure. All right, so we're back nicely up in this short. We're gonna go ahead and take some more off because we can. Lock some profit and take about half of the position off. I hope you guys can see how we kind of milk it. We short, we really the easiest way to explain what we're doing is we're attacking this range. Okay, so like you can see anytime we get close to this level, we short. And anytime we go down here, we take profit, right? Like we get close to this level. So we're essentially just attacking this range right here, hoping it holds. And if it does, great. And if not, like it's small. We got 100 shares left. And we'll just let it ride a little bit. We did reject right off of that previous closing price. And so it's one of those things, like we always talk about why we, yeah. We always talk about why we attack that previous closing price. There's a reason for it. Look at the E-mini breakdown here. So the E-mini on the right side, really choppy this morning. I guess everybody's sleeping still or hungover, is my guess. All right, so another dip. Was able to get a really nice fill there. We got 50 shares left. Now that we're closer to the bottom of the range, we'll lighten our positions. I think you guys could probably see, like, day trading pretty small in stocks the last week. We've been very green day trading the last few days. Does anybody know how you can get a TOS calendar of profits? Like, I'd love to see my calendar of profits. Is there any way you could do it? Yeah, I'm shorting. We're mostly shorting the range. We're gonna mostly cut the position there and maybe hold on to a little piece. We're mostly just shorting and attacking the range underneath the previous close. Nvidia's starting to bounce back up. Yeah, I have the 1 month ones, but I thought TOS had a calendar of profits, but maybe not. Let me see. Maybe it's on the TD Ameritrade site. I don't know if there's earnings, if it does like profit, but I'm trying to see if this is for actual earnings. Let's see. Home Depot, Walmart. It shows my positions. Look at Nvidia rip up 760 or 726 this year. I've not made a trade. Yeah. I mean, I feel you. It's a slow day, guys. We don't really have much going on. Most people are gonna be sleeping from the Super Bowl. So yeah, most people are gonna be sleeping, and that's normal. We'll day trade at the open. Look at Nvidia rip up. So Nvidia's starting to make moves. This could drag the rest of the market up. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this and earn my little money, and then maybe add back my short position. Built up a little bit of profit on the day trading, but we still got some time. You know, remember, mostly my channel covers economic reports, and so it's slow right now because we just don't have much going on. We got 25 minutes. We'll see how the open treats us. I see some stuff starting to bounce back, though. So it looks like me cutting there was the right move. Nvidia right at that level. I could short back some too. I don't know if I want to do that though. Snap? Where's Snap at right now? I'm in Snapchat. I'm green on the day, flat on the position. Up a lot on the year though. I mean, it's pretty easy to make money on the year. What about gold? I'm looking at gold here on the right side. So here's the E-mini. Here's gold. Gold all the way down to 2030s. What's interesting is that silver. So if you put up silver, silver's now following gold a little bit more closely here. CPI day tomorrow should be really fun at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Remember, CPI drops early tomorrow. And we're going to day trade futures a little bit at the opening bell too. Amazon almost to 175s. Yeah, no, I cut my short position. We're up a little bit, but yeah, we got out. Silver dipping down with gold. Nvidia up there also. We still got 20 minutes left until the market opens. Again, today's probably a slow day leading into CPI data coming out tomorrow. So that's a big day. Nvidia, yeah, Nvidia's back over the 200 EMA. See, the Q is still right at this previous closing line, though. The reason I'm not shorting it anymore is because I think Apple, is, they're not Apple. I think, was it Amazon? I think microchips have a chance to squeeze up. Amazon's green on the day, and I think they're just up a little bit too much for my taste here. And I think now that we're over this level, it could be strong. And so I don't want to risk getting upward bullish action into it because of all that stuff. It's just too up. Warren Buffett famously said, "Remember, the stock market is a manic depressive." Yeah. I think mania definitely beats depressing most of the time. Where's Netflix at? I haven't looked at Netflix in a minute. It's over 500, almost to 600 though, and Netflix is really high, over 550s on the year. Too high for me to want to buy it up, unfortunately. Yeah, it could be a slower day. Again, we just don't have much going on. Market news-wise. CPI's tomorrow. That's the biggest thing we got dropping. And that should be fun. See if Apple bounces up. I do like this rejection on the Q, but look at silver dip. Look at gold on the right side as well. Gold at 2030s. Nvidia is still making big moves. You can look at Tesla as well. Tesla down on the day. I'm not surprised. I mean, Tesla had a crazy move. I'm in Boeing as well. We're in Boeing. We're slightly green on our Boeing trade. Baba up to 72.33s. So Baba's looking good too this morning. We're still slightly red in it, but could be worse. Yeah, it depends on what the market gives us. The market's really choppy today from Super Bowl slowness, like hungover traders and all that stuff. I don't know what we want to do, but do you really think the Super Bowl could affect market pace? Yeah. I think especially early. I think it depends. I think a lot. It's kind of like an example of this is kind of like if you know, if it's summertime and it's spring break or whatever, I think there's going to be a lot of people traveling, going on vacation, less trading. Same kind of nuance here where it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's the day after Super Bowl Sunday, and I think a lot of people drank a lot last night and partied. Especially, it depends on if you have kids. Even with kids, a lot of people stayed up and partied and drank. And so in that regard, it's kind of like something where a lot of people are going to be hungover today. You know? I have no idea, just ask it. Yeah, I feel you. So look, the Q, I could have short the Q again at the same spot. Like I could have shorted it right here again. I thought about it, dipping down some, trying to make moves. Alright guys, there's the Q just cracked lows all of a sudden. I'm trying to see why. Let me see if there's any recent news that just popped out. I know we got some Fed members. Again, it is the day before CPI. So tentative recovery so far post Super Bowl trade ahead. New York Fed, SEC, and Fed speakers with us. Tuesday CPI. Uber and Lyft drivers across the U.S. are planning a protest on Valentine's Day over declining pay and other concerns. AbbVie trying to make moves. Alright guys, we got 15 minutes. I might short this move now too. Let me try. Take 75 shares. We might add up to 150 or so on this trade. This previous low level can be a resistance. Alright, 100 shares. Let's see if we flush down. We got 100 shares here. $200 EMA. I could have added more. Maybe I should have. We're just kind of scalping it early pre-market this morning. So again, we might add a little bit more. I don't know if I'm going to. Nvidia dipping down fast too could be a cause of this. I guess we'll add another 25 shares, and that's it. We're not going to add any more. 5-minute chart EMA just took 8 points here. Yeah, I mean, we're in this trade. We're slightly green now. We got a little dip. I don't know if it's enough to take profit yet. We'll wait. Again, we're just trying to build up a cushion in pre-market ahead of time. And I think this looks good. I think a lot of the time what happens is, like we talked about this strategy before, where you get a big move down, a bounce back up, and you kind of piggyback off of that move and then drop back down. And so that's kind of what we're doing here already. We're green though. So there we go. I'll take a little bit off of this now because we can. Strategy worked here though. We'll go ahead and take all but 50 out, see if the following runs. Just attacking that range is something that we do pretty regularly. See, I don't know if YouTube's acting funny. Maybe viewership's jumping all over the place. Could be something with YouTube's end, it seems. But anyways, look at the Q. Q down to 50. Or Q down to right where we want it. Let's see if it breaks this low. 436.75. Just cracked lows again. I don't know if I want to take this off. I think I want to give it a little bit more to run if it can. Bad fill, unfortunately, there. We can let the rest sit. I just want to protect the profit so we have a cushion so we can trade a little bit larger into the opening bell. After March, I think the markets will sell off, maybe. No, it most likely just has to do with servers on YouTube's end, and that's fine. Like, it happens. Again, I'm sure there's a lot of people hungover today. Tomorrow we'll have thousands of people here live. Today is probably going to be kind of boring. So we're bouncing back up. Luckily, we took most out. I would normally short this area, but I think I'm just going to chill and wait and see. We got a cushion built up. We got 10 minutes left until the opening bell. So we got a cushion built up. We'll see how that goes. And again, we are going to trade some futures today. We are going to trade some futures. All right, look at that rip up. So it looks like cutting that move was the right area. But remember, guys, again, we have no idea what I'm talking about. We might be wildly wrong about anything. We're going to transition to trade futures now because we can. And again, you can do exactly what I'm doing in the futures market. No PDT rule. Top Step, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill. in futures. And in the futures market, there's no PDT rule. Patterns in something like the E-mini, which is basically the SPY price action, is very similar to blue chip stocks. There's just no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market, all that good stuff with no PDT restrictions. It's what most pro day traders do, is actually trade futures. And again, there's no PDT rule, and you can do it essentially what I'm doing on the Q in futures. Again, Top Step's the cheapest way to get started, in my opinion, although they are a sponsor of mine. Again, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you could pass the test, they fund you. If you can't pass the test, again, you're probably going to lose more putting the money up yourself, in my opinion. Great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. And again, we're going to put Top Step up and get ready to day trade on them with Quant Tower. But if you want to check it out, there's the link. Been kind of scalping the Q. Green in equities on the day. Scalping the Q. And we might day trade in our funded account today, or our Combine account. We built up some profit in the Combine account Friday. So I don't know. I guess we'll try to start off with our funded account first. And then if that doesn't turn out well, we'll transition to our Combine account. All right, so here's the NASDAQ up. Okay, yeah, so actually, I think we're going to target our actual Combine account today because we can. Yeah, so we're very close to getting funded in this one. And we're also funded. We'll probably trade both. I'll trade my actual funded account and my Combine account. It's not a holiday, it's the day after the Super Bowl, Curtis. So a lot of people are hungover, sleepy, whatever, you know. Look at Tesla. Tesla down a little bit. I might add a little bit to Tesla. We'll see. All right, here's the NASDAQ, though. It's basically the QQQ price action here. So U.S. market will be closed on the 19th. Yeah. Here's the Q. So this is basically the same price action that we've been day trading in the stock account. So again, it's basically the same price action. Apple's starting to move up. So if you look at the Q, which is this right side here, which is what we were trading, you can see we're up a small amount on this. It's the same price action. Big dip, bounce, dip, big dip, bounce, dip. Same price action. Consolidation, consolidation. One's just zoomed in, and the futures market actually has better liquidity on the left side. All right, guys. Hey, we got 6 minutes, 5 minutes until the market opens here. We'll see if it treats us well. Any good book recommendations? I've got all these Audible credits I never freaking use. Do you think Volk bounces back this weekend? Who's he fighting? He is fighting. Wait. Who's he fighting? Oh, he's fighting Ilya. Ilya's, dude, I don't know, bro. Listen, Ilya is one of the most well-rounded fighters I've ever seen. Genuinely good jiu-jitsu skill. Like BJJ. Great BJJ skills. Dangerous freaking striking too. Dangerous striking, great jits. Like, we'll see what happens, but he is one of the most well-rounded fighters I've ever seen. Volk is, at the same time, Volk is Volk, right? Volk is probably the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC. Amazing striking, amazing wrestling, amazing takedown defense, amazing submissions, amazing submission defense. It'll be a great fight. Ilya, though, undefeated, never lost. You know, flying knee KOs, just a killer, man. I don't know. I'm rooting for Volk, but I'm not going to be mad if Ilya wins. you know. Is trading futures before market hours trading 0 day to expiry? No, 0 day to expiry are options. So 0 day to expiry stands or options. They mean 0 days till the option expires. Futures is essentially day trading something different. Futures is very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule in futures, and the sizing implications are a little bit different. You have rollovers every quarter in futures, but aside from that, it's very similar to day trading stocks. Very sideways chopping action ahead of the opening bell. We got 3 minutes, so it's just kind of boring today, guys. We just don't have much going on. I like seeing greatness. I'm kind of the type in MMA that roots for the underdog. Like, I want to see the underdog win. I love seeing Leon Edwards KO Usman. I love seeing, I love seeing Pereira versus Izzy, and then I love seeing Izzy knock out Pereira too. Like, I'm a person that roots for the underdog, and so, Ilya. I don't know who's. I mean, Volk is one of the goats, and so it's hard to tell. But again, Ilya. It's just, he's a great fighter, man. Super well-rounded, so it'll be tough to see what happens. All right, team. Sideways action. We got 2 minutes until the market opens. We're probably not going to stick around too long afterwards. We're going to trade some, but it's just kind of boring today. I think a lot of people are still hungover. Market's slow. Tomorrow we have big economic reports going live, though, so, we'll see how that looks, but... I'm... Social media. I've never seen so many, the problem with social media is that there's so much filters going on nowadays. I've never seen so many thirsty dudes that on Twitter talking to, all right, Bowman is live speaking right now, talking to OnlyFans girls. I've never seen so many thirsty dudes. It's like, bro, do y'all really think talking to them you have a chance? I think even being in the comment section of them is bad for you, get out of there. I mean, men are designed that way. I guess it's human nature, but still. Anyway, super micro semiconductor. All the way up to 760s right now. 760s, crazy gains. You're the man. Great intellect in regards to financial and fight metrics. Keep up the great work. Hey, thanks so much, bro. I appreciate it, B. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm a huge MMA fan. I've been an MMA fan much longer than I've even trained jiu-jitsu. I'm a one stripe white belt. I think I'm pretty good for a one stripe white belt though, but it might just be white belt ego floating around. Here's the market open, guys. Here's the market open. I'll tell you this though. I tap out some higher belts and maybe they're just letting me work. All right, so there's the market open. Watch NVIDIA on the right side. NVIDIA recently broke lifetime highs. Look at this big dip in the NASDAQ 100. Big drops in these things. Let's watch big retracement back up, big pivot back up. Baba just broke highs. Baba continuing to rip in pre-market. NVIDIA dipping down. ARM flying up this morning. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this continuation on the downside continues. Is Mardi Gras over? I don't even know. I didn't celebrate Mardi Gras. I mean, again, I'm not in Louisiana anymore, unfortunately. All right, so again, market's retracing back up. Tesla all the way back up to 193s. Tesla about to go green on the day, potentially. Yep. Not quite yet. Q flushing down, though. Q's cracking lows. All right, so Q breaking down. BABA ripping up. NVIDIA is what's churning down, though. So NVIDIA and other tech stocks are falling. Look at the Q dump. Tesla's doing all right, but the rest of the microchip stocks are not. All right, so there's the open. We got to let things fly down or settle down a little bit. Snap, is Snap ripping up that much? Oh, Snap is. I'm in Snapchat. Not a huge trade, though, but we're in it. Tesla at 193 is trying to hold. We're up a decent amount in our equities trades today. A lot of it is from ARM. But, you know, we're up $123 or so in our trades today, so we'll take it. Green is good. Snapchat flying up. NVIDIA starting to bounce. Palantir bouncing. Okay, we're in Palantir as well. Palantir pulling back a little bit now, though, unfortunately. Snap is rising, though. I guess I'm going to short this as almost a hedge. It's our funded account, though, so we can, or it's our combine account, though, so we can take a little bit added risk here and play with it. And if we're wrong, get out and, you know, have a little bit more room, I would say. Punished, though, so far. Yeah, we're going to have to cut this. All right, well, we opened up on our funded account program down pretty big. Again, we'll wait and recoup this, hopefully. NVIDIA breaking highs again, guys. Look, NVIDIA almost going to break lifetime highs again. What's the previous lifetime high? Here, let's see the market hours high. 728.50. 728.50. It's at 728.30s, guys. NVIDIA might break lifetime highs again. Let's see if it does. It's right up there. It is right up there. And we might take a following trade here just because NVIDIA probably could break this. All right, so we're up. I might risk my this funded account day just to take these swings. 2 contracts. Big rip. We're going to take half off there, lock in some profit. All right, so we're up. So we just basically made the whole losses back. I'm going to add to this again. And then keep adding. Beautiful bounce. NVIDIA moving up there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lock that out. So we are now flat on the day here after a pretty big losing trade. Again, we'll look for a pullback. There goes NVIDIA churning. NVIDIA's trying to get up there. It's right at that level. I think it has to break. No, I mean, maybe not. Who knows? We'll buy this just in case it does. Try to get a little, definitely extended up here. Definitely a little greedy, but that's all right. Greed sometimes pays off. We are now green on the day. NVIDIA just broke lifetime highs at basically 730s, right under 730s. The Q is bouncing back big. We'll see if it continues. Tesla moving up to 193s. Palantir still trying. What a crazy market move here, though. Snap ripping up. I'm in Snapchat. I'm in Palantir as well. Snap's up to 1150s. It could do better. NVIDIA just hit highs again at 731s. Look at NVIDIA on the right side. So NVIDIA just hit highs again. Now that we're up there, I don't trust it as much. I think sometimes these milestone levels, like previous lifetime highs, are kind of like a magnet in some charts, right? And so as we're pushing up to these levels, I'm likely to attack that. But as we hit this level, I'm less likely to want to jump on that. We'll see. I'd love for us to continue, and maybe we can take some continuation trades if we get a large enough pullback here. But we got to watch NVIDIA very closely. There's NVIDIA breaking highs again. Q pulling back finally. All right, we'll buy this. We got a little cushion on the day. NVIDIA's breaking lifetime highs again. Yep, it's up there. We're buying the pullback, trying to be less greedy, but... All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut that. So we're up over 100, or right around $100 today. Looking for a dip. Depends on what NVIDIA does here, though. NVIDIA's dragging the market up or down. All right, we just scalped a little bit more. We're up about 150 on the day. Nvidia just got up to almost 734s right now. Crazy gains here. And again, these are these super rare days where you can get crazy good momentum. Nvidia up to almost 735s. What a ridiculous day. How crazy is that, man? It is up so much right now, so much. ARM is up big too. AI is just ridiculous right now, just absolutely crazy. Tesla's starting to move up as well, but everything else is kind of following it. Snapchat just broke highs again. Who knows when this is going to stop? This is just a crazy day. For a day in which a lot of people thought we'd have slow volatility, it's got to slow down eventually, right? We've got a cushion on the day in profit, but Nvidia, it's getting back up there. We're going to buy this again, I guess. We've got a cushion. We have to be ready for it to pull back some. We're kind of flat on the day now, but I'm probably going to have to cut this pretty soon. I don't know what I want to do with this. Part of me doesn't trust it. It depends on what Nvidia does here, though. We're kind of flat on the position now. I'm gonna take half of this off just to protect the trade. I just don't like that. So I'm gonna lock in half of it just to protect the trade in case this doesn't work out. I'd rather not have a big loss, big drawdown on the day, and then if we can end green enough, fine. We can make the money back that we just lost in that profit taking right there, or that cut. But if it turns on me, we're going to be noticeably less risk. We're going to have noticeably less risk. And so that's what I'd prefer to do. And we'll give it time to bounce back up and break highs again. Here we go. All right, so we got up there. So yeah, now we're up $200 on the day. So we'll take it. We got a really nice cushion. Even though I would have made more if I would have held that trade, I think the risk there is a little bit too high. If Nvidia starts to pull back, we could be in for big corrections on the downside, and I don't really want to be super extended into all that stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, just a lot of greed on this chart, and so I don't trust holding it. We're up 200 on the day in futures. We're up in the day trading stocks and index funds. We're up on the day in that as well. I just don't trust any of this. Is my position here. I just don't trust any of it. If you guys trust it, that's great. That's a big downward move here. Alright, so we're in one. I guess we'll use the cushion we have to take some larger risks in this combine account. We'll take a swing with it. See, there goes Nvidia pulling back, though. That's the riskiest part. Flat. Alright, we took half off there, locked in some profit, protected the trade. See if we can bounce up some more. And if we turn on us, we're noticeably less extended. Yeah, I don't like that. So we cut it. So we're still up over $100 on the day. We retain most of our profit. It depends on if Nvidia's right at that VWAP level, I guess. We'll see if we can bounce there. We'll buy this. And again, it might look like I'm mismanaging some of these, and that's fine. When something's moving this quickly, I think you gotta just kind of, you gotta go with intuition to a certain extent. Alright, so we're gonna lock that out. So yeah, we're back up to, we're up almost 200 on the day again. I'm looking at the Q. I'm looking at Nvidia right at the volume weighted average price level. On a technical perspective, it looks like a strong pattern, but I'm kind of scalping these moves so I don't have to hold this very long, because I think when it turns, it can turn very quickly. Alright, so there goes Nvidia flushing down under the volume weighted average price, looking weak. Tesla actually breaking highs on the day. Tesla technically green on the day now. Where's ARM at?
ARM is flying over highs. Hey, you love to see it. Tesla just broke highs as well. It's at 194s.
I'm gonna buy this. Oof, bad buy. I could fix it and try to add to it. I don't think that's the move though. I guess Nvidia's at the 200 EMA. We'll take a very risky position here. Q's retracing so fast though. I don't think this is the right move. It depends on if the Nvidia stock holds. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this. I don't like this at all.
And that was, now we're slightly red on the day, unfortunately, but we used the cushion that we had to take a larger risks. I just don't trust this. We're right at that middle range. I think if we start to break down, I think Nvidia could be arguably really extended on the upside. And so again, if we start to correct, it's just too much. We'll play it safe. And again, if you want to see my P&L, if anybody wants to make fun of me or whatever for losing the gains that we had on the day, wonder why my actual gains aren't showing up.
Here's this week so far in this one. So that's my weekly gains on the day so far. Or that's my weekly gains so far this week. So we're doing really well, kind of slow and meticulous, but
I don't trust Nvidia right now. I think my skepticism with Nvidia is rolling into my day trading. My equities portfolio is really nicely up on the day. I'm going to use these to take a little bit off of Tesla because I can. Alright, so we just took a little bit off. Protected the trade.
We'll see if that continues. What do you think CPI is going to be tomorrow? I think CPI is going to be volatile tomorrow morning. I don't know what it's going to be. All right, look, we'll take a buy into this pullback here. Things look like they're starting to move up, so we'll take a decent trade here if we can. You know, this funded this combine account, we're already up over 1,000, or at least we were prior to today, but we should still be as well. Now, if choppiness continues, obviously we're going to come down, but all right, took half off. We're now green again on the day, building up another profit. Lock that in. Up about 100 on the day now. I'm gonna start to build up another cushion. My equities portfolio just rolling, man. Look at that. You think you're smart until you have to learn how to spell robe. Bathrobe. Oh, okay. Alright, so we're gonna start buying this again, see if we can build up another cushion with small size first. And we got a little cushion on the day already. We're up about 100 now. Again, the goal is to build up a cushion, take larger risks once we have that cushion. We've got a little bit of a cushion now. And so if we're wrong about this trade, we'll be back to break even, it looks like. Which is all right. We took some good risks, and if it would have worked out, we would be up much more. And the goal is to limit risk, but maximize reward. And so we're able to take big risks with small. Here, I'm probably going to have to cut this pretty soon. We'll see. I like the dip level. I like the technical strategy back here, but if it breaks down too much, we're going to have to cut it. Watch Nvidia very closely, though. Nvidia's back to that 200 EMA level. We're flat on the trade currently.
Q's battling that previous close, so I guess it's not a surprise that the day after the Super Bowl, the market's kind of flat and boring. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut it. So now we're down again. But the market's very choppy. If you look at the Q, which is what we're trading, we're going back and forth between red and green, and it's not really a surprise when the Q looks like this. I don't want to give too much back on this account because we are up over 1,000 in this count, but yeah, we'll wait and see if we got some good trades. Palantir almost back to green. Is it really? Yeah, Palantir right under that previous closing price. See, Nvidia is what's giving it back, though, and I will short this if Nvidia continues to fall. Right, Nvidia is kind of right at this 200 EMA. I think this is a very relevant milestone level. And if Nvidia gets weak right here, I will short it. I will pivot to shorting the NASDAQ is what I mean. Watching the 200 EMA close. Alright, we're going to short this. There goes Nvidia. Shorting the Q. Flat. Nvidia starting to flush down. I was hoping this would drag the Q down, but we haven't really gotten it yet. We're break even though. There we go. Alright, so we're cutting into that. Our thesis was correct, at least initially. Nvidia breaking down a little bit, looking weak. We're gonna stay in the short, maybe add to it. There we go. Alright, just took half off. Green on the day again. This looks very weak. We're up a little bit more here on this. I could add to this as well. I think this looks very weak for Nvidia. We're gonna add to it. Nvidia's flushing down towards lows. Again, we got a little cushion on the day now. There we go. Took a little bit of profit there. Breaking down some more. I could give it this one a little bit more time. I think watching Nvidia want to break down. This looks good. If it can crack this low, we might add to it as well. I don't know what we want to do. I guess I could add to it. There's Nvidia bouncing back up. I'm just gonna go ahead and lock that in. So we're up 100 and something again on the day. Got another little cushion that we could play with now. If Nvidia continues to look weak, we will jump on this short. I gotta watch Nvidia very closely here though. I think this looks like a very bearish pattern, but I think sometimes they retrace these patterns quickly. Alright, so we're short here again. Looks like it wants to break down. Nvidia's right at that previous closing level though. Alright, so we're gonna lock some more profit in. We're up about 200 on the day again. I don't like this short I just took. Maybe a... Depends on what Nvidia does here, and I think it still looks very weak, and it's starting to test that previous close. So we got a cushion that we can add to this one in. Nvidia is right at the red to green level. This will be a longer term short because we have a cushion on the day, and I'm going to try to add to it if we bounce like this. There we go. See, maybe it was a bad move. Nvidia's bouncing right at the previous closing price. Yeah, sometimes days are like this though, where you build up a cushion, take profit, build up a cushion, take profit. Scale up, lose, scale up, lose. I wanted it to be a longer term trade though, because I do think this is long term weak. And we're about flat on the day now, especially with this retracement. I don't know what I want to do here, though. I'm kind of torn on it. I could add some more, but my risk is going to be way higher if I do. And again, if I cut the trade now, we're basically break even on the day. I think I'm going to let it work a little bit more. See if we get that breakdown. I think the pattern's weak. I think this is just profit taking on shorts. But I also think that Nvidia can do freaking anything, and it did break highs of the day. It's bouncing right at the previous closing line as well, so it's a tough spot to make the decision here. Either way, we're not going to be down big no matter what we choose to do. And I do see a lot of blue chip stocks starting to bounce back. So maybe it's wise to cut it, break even, and then try to build up another little profit, or maybe consider cutting it on the day. I don't know. It just depends on if I think this will retrace some more. Yeah, maybe I should have cut it. You know, I don't want to get caught in Nvidia squeezing up. I think Q is at that 200 EMA VWAP previous closing price level, so it's a big resistance level as well. I don't want to let it run up too much is the thing. And if Nvidia breaks this level, which it certainly could, I don't want to get stuck in that type of momentum towards the upside again. Let's see if Nvidia rejects the 200 EMA. It's rejecting it so far. I think I'm going to cut half of this here. It's probably the right move. Cut half of it. We're down slightly on the day. And then figure out what we want to do in the rest. And if we lose, we're down a couple hundred on the day. But if it squeezes up, we're a little bit more protected. I think that's probably the move. You know, and again, what you saw me do today, guys, is like my system on these things is like you build up a profit first. You build up a small profit. Once you build up a profit of a couple $100, then I can take larger risks, right? And then if I lose after taking larger risks, I scale back down my size and we go back to break even, right? And then we try to build up another profit on the day, and then if I lose there, rinse and repeat that. That's what you've seen me do a couple different times today, is build up a cushion and then take some risks and then lose and then start back over, build up a cushion, take some risks and lose. Some days the market's just going to be flat, and so you're going to build up a cushion and lose and go back and build up a cushion and lose and go back. And that's kind of what today is. I've limited myself to only a couple $100 in losses today on an account that I'm up over 1,000 in. So, or I was up over 1,000 prior to today. I'm not sure how much I'm up now. And so it did work a little bit today, and our job was successfully accomplished, which was limit our risk. But it wasn't one of those days where we got a lot of follow through. All right, so there's Nvidia starting to break down. Is SoFi running up? Hey, SoFi is up. That's nice. Tesla back up some too. Nvidia flushing back down too. Now I could add to it. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm probably just gonna close it down, come back tomorrow, guys. So yeah, hey, y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Again, if you want to day trade with me, the easiest way to get funded, in my opinion, is to build up a cushion in your funded account. If you lose, great. All right, so we're gonna cut this and just kind of get out down a couple $100 on the day. But our risk is limited, and we still have tomorrow. But again, the easiest way to do that is to build up a cushion and do what I'm doing here. It limits your risk. Days when you lose, you have small losses like today. But days when you're able to make money, you can have large wins. And what Top Step is a funded account program in futures. They give you a demo, and they test your skill. And if you can pass the test, great. If you can't pass the test, then again, you probably would lose more putting the money up yourself. So it's a great middle ground that limits your risk. And most new day traders lose money. Doesn't matter whether you go through Top Step or TOS or Thinkorswim or wherever, you're probably going to lose money as a day trader. Top Step limits your risk in a heavy way. And so it's a great way to learn how to day trade. You can check out the link right there. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm certainly biased in their favor. One of the things that I didn't use today is I didn't use Chart Prime, which I probably should have. And so if I pull up Chart Prime, again, Chart Prime is a trading view service you can use in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures, whatever you want to use it on, you can. Any time frame, anything with a symbol on TradingView, you can use it. And I should have used them today, because if I look at this action here, like, look how good this action was today. I should have listened to it today. So again, check out today's action on Chart Prime. So here's Chart Prime on a 5-minute chart on the NASDAQ, which is what I was trading. All right, so look at this action. I can't fake this. I can't guarantee you're going to make money on Chart Prime. Nobody can. But I also can't fake what I'm about to show you. Look at the sell signal here. Beautiful breakdown. Strong buy signal here. Nice little rip up. Sell signal right here. Nice little breakdown. This is a 5-minute chart too. So this is hours of good action. Buy signal way down here. Look at the beautiful bounce you get for hours. Sell signal way up here. Beautiful drops for hours. And then shortly, we just recently got that strong signal, and you can see that movement starting to happen. So everyone worked this morning for the most part on Chart Prime. This is a 5-minute chart. You could also use it on an hourly chart, on any time frame you want. It's like $40 a month if you use my link, I think. You know, there's more stuff. There's oscillators, screeners, back testers. There's so much stuff that you can use here. And again, it's genuinely impressive in my opinion. Like, look at the strong buy signal that was way down here. That one probably worked a little bit as well, but look at the strong buy signal way back here, and look at the big upward action. So the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 worked in a row. This one might not have worked, but the last 7 worked in a row. Genuinely impressive. Genuinely impressive. If you want to check it out, you can use it on the Q. You can use it on Apple, Amazon, Disney, whatever you want to use it on, you can. And again, if you want to check it out, they're both Top Step and Chart Prime are sponsors of mine. Remember, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. But if you want to check out the links, there they are in chat. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. You can also check out the Chart Prime link if you want. You know, you can get 40% off using that link. I'm going to get out of here. Tesla breaking highs on the day, guys. So Tesla breaking highs. My portfolio is looking pretty nice right now. Pretty nice. We'll see if we hold. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys tomorrow. CPI stream tomorrow, guys. Be ready. I'll see you guys later.